All right, guys, we're going to be starting. So what we're going to be talking about, a couple things. We're going to be, as you can see in here, we're going to be talking about a lot of like offensive runs and combinations and what you're supposed to do in offensive runs. But on the other note, I'm going to be showing you guys some workouts. Okay. So I'm going to be giving you guys some workouts, and those workouts I will be sending it in Facebook Messenger, but they will all be available in YouTube. I already uploaded to the Gala site, so they're all available, but we're going to be kind of watching it now. Please pay attention to it. These are some workouts for you guys, and I hope you guys pay attention and watch it. If you have any questions, ask it right away. As you can see, Daji is already in the mode for coronavirus coaching with the mask and gloves and everything, so enjoy.
Hey guys, this is Daji, ready for Corona coaching. As you can see me, gloves and everything. So I'm going to show you guys some drills you can do on your own in your backyard, somewhere you don't see a lot of people. Go to park, but make sure that there's nobody there. You've got to make sure that you keep your social distancing still going until we get a hold of this. The exercise is for defenders, but it's a good movement. It's not just for defenders, for anybody. When you're defending somebody, first cone to next cone, we're going to be defending the player that way. Okay, we're going to be backing up. You're going to back up, back up, back up. When we get to this cone, we're going to change sides. Now we're facing it this way. Back up, back up. You cover here. Back up, back up. Over the hood. We go this way. Back up, back up. We go this way. Back up, back up. When we get to here, back up, back up, back up. And you're just good.
Next one, guys. Any questions before I continue the next one? Is there any questions you guys have about that drill? Or you want me to repeat it? Please let me know right now. It's about 3 to 4 steps backing up. It's a good defensive drill. If you guys saw that, I'll show it a little bit one more time.
Anybody, when you're defending somebody, first cone to...
Look at it, no movement. The moment that you guys are doing this, you put your knees bend so you can be lower. Lower defensive shape is very important for any kind of defensive situation. Even forwards, midfielders, when you get into that shape and you're not showing behind you, which is the easiest way to beat you, so you want to make sure that you get your body shape straightened up like that. And anybody beats you, you can put an arm first, slowing down, and then let him go though. Do not hold on to the guy, right? Body movement,
the player that way.
facing him one way. Do you see that how the hands are open? So if the player makes a sudden movement, put an arm to slow him down, but like I said, let him go right away. But the backing up backwards like that, it's not going to be backing up, both shoulders facing the player, one shoulder facing the player, and then right away, right there.
When we get to this cone,
you see how I'm switching? I'm now showing him one way. So I would prefer doing this one. As you can see, now we are dealing with a righty. We are trying to show them their left foot. So we don't want to give them his right foot shot, right? Or if the goal is behind me, that's where we want to lead him wide. You understand? So we just work on both sides, because you can't be defending the player the same side every part of the field. You just need to be smart about how you do it. Backing up, and now the play ball is up there. Do you see how I'm always looking forward like there is a player with the ball? It's really important that you are getting in a good shape and always lower and movement very smart. Next one, we're going to be working some homework. Again, like I said, these are all going to be available in YouTube. As you can see, this is in our Gallup FC page. This is the double step go move. We work on this before in trainings, but I want you guys to put cones, put pennies, whatever you're going to use, 7 times in a row. You guys are going to be doing this movement with the explanation here, and you're going to come back and do it again and do it again, and then move on to the next move, which we'll be showing in a bit.
Hey guys, Raji here again. So next one we're going to be working on is just body fakes. We're going to do the first call. We're going to go to it. It's all about the shoulder movement. It's all about how much you use your body to fake out the player. This is a simple one. We always do this in trainings too. We go close enough to the player. This is far enough because there's 2 fakes. You don't want to get closer than this. You want to make sure that your shoulders move the right, left, and right. beat the player. Go to the big player, out, touch, and go to the next player, right, left, and right. Very quickly, grab the ball, right and left. Look at how I'm reaching. Make sure that you're leaning so it's selling the move. Go to player, and touch. So, right, left, right, or left, right, left. Does that make sense?
Going to be working now on the Zidane move. This is very useful. This is one of the like any part of the field. It's very useful move. It's also 7 cones. Keep doing it a couple times, maybe 3 times, and then go back to the next move.
Hey guys, Raji here again. We're going to be going over a Zinedine Zidane move. When I learned this move from my coaches in Europe, I had a German coach and a Turkish coach. They told me this is one of the undefendable moves. Zidane was an incredible player. He always kept it far enough. Just like the Messi move we worked on before, it's all about angles. So creating the angle. So this move, it's kind of like what I call it Zidane or the V move. I want you to do on the side if you don't mind. So because they need to see how far the ball is going to go. So I'm going to give you guys an example. You see where the cone is? When you pull the ball, you need to make sure it's far away from the player's reach, and you're going to be putting the ball to the opposite side. So V shape, right? So every time you pull it, you need to make sure the ball is going behind you. So pull it like it's going to go behind your legs. But you need to catch it before it goes too far. Come closer again, a little bit closer. So when I pull this ball, you see I'm going to put it in the same line as the cone right now. When I'm pulling this, look at how far away from the cone to there. So if we're visualizing now, defender sees the ball, you see that you're pulling it, they reach, but it's so far when they reach, your next touch is already gone, you're already moving forward, and it's really hard to defend this move because of the angle. So if you don't mind coming behind me, so this time we're going to do it to the cone. We're going to dribble to the player, okay? When the player's coming close, a lot of players just pull it this way and touch it, okay? That could work, not against the top level defender, okay? So we want to make sure, when we get close up to the player, we're going to put it way back, and open space. And then do the same thing, dribble to the next one. When we get to here, we're going to put it away, and that's it.
Let's go to any questions about the Zidane move, guys? It's a very critical move. I don't know if you guys realize how far back you pull the ball. It's so hard to actually get the ball from you. If you guys, even though I am an injured guy, when I play with you guys, this is one of the moves I do a lot because it's really hard to lose the ball. You know, it's if you do it right, it's going to be really tough for any player to get the ball from you. So I hope that you see the movement. Jawad, you're kind of late. I hope that you're going to be watching this from the beginning and going over all these drills, because these are drills that is very useful, especially for center mids. This one specifically, Zinedine Zidane move, is critical move to learn for you guys. Any questions about this move, guys, before I move on to the next one? I don't know if you guys realize, just don't get cocky and say, oh, I got this, it's so easy. Did you see how far back I pulled it away? It's literally like 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind me. So you need to be able to pull it way far and then complete the triangle. I'm going to show it one more time from
Come closer again. Let's cone right now. When I'm pulling this,
look again from here how far you're going to be pulling this away from the player.
Look at how far
and
away from the cone. If we're visualizing now, defender, your next touch is on this move because of the angle.
let's see again here.
Behind me. So this time we're going to do it to the cone. We're going to dribble to the player, okay? When the player's coming close, a lot of players just put it this way and touch it, okay?
That's not good enough, by the way.
Not against the top level defender, okay? So we want to make sure when we get close up to the player,
I'm gonna, there's a lot. Okay, do you see how far I pulled back? Again, let's go to here again. right here. So look, do you see how far I pull back? When I'm pulling this, it's completely opening my body, if you can see, and I open up a lot of space. And right here, you can see from the side, look at how far the ball is moving back. It's critical that you pull it away, like toe down, under your toes, grab and touch it inside your foot to perfect area for dribbling the next ball. It is critical that you do this properly and far away from the player. Any questions? All right, guys. Next one is the Messi move. We talk about this all the time. We've done this in training before. Please pay attention.
Hey guys, this is Daji again. We're going to be going over some of the movement. We're going to go over one of the moves of Messi. It's about angles. I kind of explained this to you guys a few times before, but I want you guys to put maybe in here, there's 7 cones. So what you do is, when Messi dribbles, he does this outside of his foot, open up the game and beat the player to open space. But unfortunately, a lot of players, when they do this movement, they do it just like that, too short, and it's not going to work. So when Messi gets close enough to play, he's a little guy, okay? Messi's a short guy. So he needs to get rid of this guy's reach. So if this is the defender is reaching this way, he needs to make sure that he can get rid of that part. So when Messi comes close enough to the player, he pushes it way away from the player and touches the next ball, and that actually creates a lot of space. So then you get the ball, you dribble to the next cone with your right foot this time. When you get close enough to the player, push it away and touch it in, and grab the cone as quick as you can. Go to the cone, dribble to the cone, push it away as far as you can, and touch it in as quick as you can. Alright?
Alright guys, any questions about the Messi move? It's all about angles. And if you guys realize there, I'll go back to here for a second. I think just before, I'm going to be doing it right around here, I think.
When Messi dribbles, he does this outside of his foot, open up the game and beat the player to open space. But
let's do it here.
You do it just like that, too short.
Now, I want you guys to watch here. The critical thing in here that I really want you guys to pay attention to is this. So, when you are going to be touching this, I hope you can see the mouse. If you touch it anywhere close to the reaching area of the player, he's going to be able to steal the ball from you. You have to touch it exactly wide to this way to be able to not give any possible angle for the player to reach to that ball.
And it's not going to work. So when Messi gets close enough to play, he's a little guy, okay? Messi's a short guy, so he needs to get rid of
right here.
Guy's reach. So if this is the defender is reaching this way,
look at that.
He needs to make sure that he can get rid of that part. So when Messi comes close enough to the player, he pushes it way away from the player and...
Do you see how far that went? It's critical that it's that far from the reach and you will never be able to lose the ball. It's like one of the players that I was listening to, I think it was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe, when Gareth Bale was in Tottenham, the Spurs, and he was saying that he's been watching Messi do this move and it kind of changed the way he plays, and he feels like this is his move now because he's very fast guy and he knows how his speed, and all he has to do is put that ball into space, and he said that it changed the game for him. Like he felt like he was a great player, but he became like one of the best in the league after he figured out how to really utilize his speed. I hope that you guys understand this. This is a critical move to work on, and the angle that you work on it is critical as well. And we're gonna go to Ronaldo move, and you guys gonna hear my little stupid joke about Ronaldo. All right.
Hey guys, Raji here again. Now we're gonna be going over Ronaldo move. Not the Ronaldo you guys know, Cristiano Ronaldo, the six-pack guy, the handsome guy. We're not gonna do that one. We're just gonna talk about the Brazilian fatter Ronaldo back in the day. The 98 World Cup Ronaldo, 2002 Ronaldo, that's the Ronaldo we're talking about, Luis Nazario Ronaldo. So his movement was so incredible. If you guys want to watch Brazilian Ronaldo, you can search it in YouTube. I don't think anybody can beat players as well as he does, like including Messi and Ronaldo. They are good players, but when it comes to beating several players in a row and still have
They are greatest players,
forward,
don't get me wrong,
Ronaldo
but
was an epic.
you guys gotta watch Ronaldo's
player
dribbling.
to follow. One of Ronaldo's moves was it looked like a scissors, and a lot of people in United States when they teach scissors, you know, they do this and then they go that way. So very simple. Or I hate this one. They do this and they go the same side. So I will only do that if the player kind of moved that way because he assumed that I was gonna do it that way because I was too slow to do the scissors. Then I would go to the same side. But if you are ever gonna fake it this way, you should go to the opposite side. And your body needs to tell it. You see what I did there? When I'm going that way, I'm leaning that way, like I'm gonna run that way, but I'm gonna go this way. It's how it tells. Ronaldo adds two fakes to this. So what he does, he acts like he's gonna go that way first. He steps that way and goes around and touches it this way. So double fake. So what he does from the side, he acts like he's gonna kick it that way or run that way, right foot step. And the moment he steps, his left foot is up. You see that? Right step, left is up. So the next part is really important. Ronaldo used to beat goalies. If you watch Ronaldo's goals against Ghana, Brazil-Ghana game, he completely schools the keeper doing this move. By right step, left goes around, but not all the way around.
In that game, when he beats him, he just does the scissors part of it, but it's still a great move.
Ronaldo was so good at this. He stepped, went around, but he covered the ball, and he touches it to the open space. So step around and beat the player. But when you're doing that, you make sure you protect the ball as well. So from the side, when I step quick enough, right, left, and right, I'm protecting the ball. I'm stepping here. Defender is here. If he tries to hit it, hit me. I get a foul. You understand? That's why this is a very incredible move. Like I said, every favorite call you guys gonna do. And right and left and right step.
That's it. Any questions about that one? So this is a small video. I posted this before, but I want you guys to kind of go over this. These are the rules that I have. Like we kind of talk about it in practices sometimes, but not this long. I want you guys to. Let me see. Jeff is saying something. Getting your knee. Yeah, I mean the key thing, Jeff, is every time you step, you need to start lifting the other foot up. The leg needs to be on air. Like if both legs at the same time on the ground, this is going to be very slow for you to do. The reason a guy, you know, who has no knees like me, who can move the ball that fast, who can move their feet that quickly, is because I'm not stepping both my feet on the ground. You just need to make sure that if you want to be quick enough, it needs to be one by one every time. So any kind of movement, it needs to be important. That's the key part of it. So this next thing is very important. So next part of it is when you are doing this, you know, like the pass in the game, passing the ball is critical. But there are rules that I put for myself and for my players. And you guys know that I usually talk about the 3 rules of passing to make it accurate, to make it 100%, to make it a professional level, right? So let's watch this video. This has been a while representing Juventus and Gala FC right there. All right, guys, pay attention. Let's see. All right. It's going to be a 4-minute video.
Rules about passing for me. My name is Dahan Kisim. They call me Daji Kisim as well, Daji. I studied soccer all my life, pretty much, and I really went into details and studied the best players in the world, the best teams in the world, and I find my own ways of teaching how to, you know, perfect some of their techniques and some of the problems that players face. My rules about passing, just keep it very simple. is obviously, you know, we're going to be working on technique, and you can do that in the field. And I can show you amazing, incredible videos of how to properly pass. But I think the logic behind it is more important. For me, I put it in three important things. One, the player you're going to pass it to. Two, the player closest defender that will be defending that pass. And three, the space. So how it works is, let's just say I have the ball and I'm looking up to see my player and I want to pass to my right mid, for example. I'm looking at the player and there's a player, a left back coming towards him, left side from his right, my left. So a lot of players do this mistake. They get the ball and they see the player and immediately they want to pass it to the player where the player is. Why? My rule is to eliminate a lot of the issues. You need to look at all three things. One, the player you're going to pass it to, yes, and that's usually where most players just finishing up the whole thing, like they just want to pass. That's the player. It's the tennis ball and a puppy. You know, just throw the ball and he runs after it, kind of thing. It's simple, but it's usually not as successful in the consistency way. If you want to be able to pass the ball 10 times and you do not want to lose the ball, because like Pelé said, if you control the ball, you control the score. So we're looking at that situation again. I'm looking at my right mid and I'm looking at the player who's pressing. For me, it's on the left side, for him, it's right side. And the space is, for me, on his right side, for him, on his left side. The space there. So the logical thing is that the thinking process is this. You see the player, so you cannot pass it because the player is coming from his right side, so you cannot pass to his right foot there, because immediately he's going to have the pressure coming to him, right? So I recognize, number two, the player is coming from there. So I'm looking at the space behind him or to the side of him that will be away from the defender. So I put the ball there. Simple rule. Sounds super simple. And if every player kind of checks these three things very quickly every single time, and a lot of our top level players I train, and some of them went far, and some of them they didn't get it. But the ones that got it down, the consistency of their passing went to another level. So a lot of the players like from Spain, the Spanish system, the passing ability is such an incredible level. I'm not sure if they make these rules for themselves. They do so much passing in their trainings throughout every training session. They kind of perfect this. But when you watch the best players in the world, to me, the best passers in the world was Xavi and Iniesta and Zinedine Zidane. And all those guys, when they passed the ball, they always kept it away from that risky areas. And they kept the possession of the ball. So like I said, one, the player you're going to pass to, the player who's going to be defending that player, and the space away from that defensive player. And once you pass it to that area, you keep the possession more. Very simple, the three rules of passing, the logic behind it.
Let's go to this section. So that could be confusing to some of you guys because I just said, to the left, to the right. So I want you guys to visualize. Now, number 8 right here has the ball. And they usually, what we're saying is, they see the player and they just give it. And that's a lot of the problems, right? But what I'm saying is, you need to recognize there's a player pressing that area. So you need to be able to see these things. So even if this guy is not smart or lazy, okay, even if he's not making, because this player now also needs to be backing up to show himself in the open space. But if he is not, and this guy is stepping to this area, the pass still needs to go away from this angle. Do you understand? So I'm going to lock the player real quick. I want you guys to see the reach. So the reach of the player is around here, right? So you need to be able to pass the ball away from that reach. So pass the ball in these areas to be able to get the ball away. So the reach of this player is here. So if that was the player that we want to pass the ball, the reach of the player is here, right? The reach of the player is here. So I wouldn't pass the ball to here necessarily because there's two players that could get that unless you put a high ball there. But if you're going to pass to number 9, then you're going to pass it to him right here or right here to away from the pressure. So sometimes as players, we need to be able to lead the player, even if they're not doing their job correctly, okay? So like I said, now we're going to go back to unlock the player. When we have the ball here, if this guy is not making the right movement, and let's just say he's looking at number 9, and number 9 should be either checking in here or making a diagonal run to open his way. Now, number 9, when he's making a diagonal run here, he knows he's not going to, because there's a guy here, he should know at least, he's not making this run to get that ball. He's getting this guy's attention to clear the way. That gives more dribbling space to the number 8, and number 8 now sees a lot more gap, and he can pass the ball to number 11 to here, and that could create a lot of opportunities for that player. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like I said now, but the player is now looking this way, and there's a pressure coming from here. So what is our 3 rules of passing? 1, the player you're going to pass the ball to. So which is who? Right here. I'm looking at this guy. This is number 1. Okay. Now we're going to lock this. We're going to be showing you guys. Let's make it blue this time. So the number 1, the player we're going to pass it to is, which is here. Okay. Number 2, we're going to look at the player, who's the closest player that could defend that pass, which is number 3 right here, right? So that's the area they're going to be coming in, stepping in, blocking the pass because they're moving forward. And now I'm going to change it to this. And this will be the area right here that'll be safe for us to pass. Okay? Does that make sense? So, same idea. Let's go blue here. Reach, 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 right? So, we're looking to pass the ball to this player. And the spaces, right? There is a lot of space right here. Okay? And if he makes a diagonal run here, there's a lot of space going to be right here for us. Okay? So it's really critical that you guys understand this. This is not something, unfortunately, like I work with, no, not going to give names, but I work with some of the top clubs in the state and some of the top coaches, and some of them I learned a lot from. But one of the things that many coaches, some coaches really step to this for sure, but many coaches, they really do not step to the subject as much, right? And a lot of times they work on forwards to make a check run. I see a lot of drills that a lot of coaches do to like forward check in to that gap to pull the player away or check in to receive the ball. That's great, but this can be happening everywhere in the field, and it should be happening everywhere in the field. So recognizing space. So there's 2 things about this, right? 1, the passer. So a lot of times you guys make a mistake because the player is waiting for the ball here, and he's wanting the ball to his feet. But if you're a smart player like Iniesta smart, Zidane smart, you will just still pass the ball, okay, to this area. You're like, I don't care you want the ball to your feet. The guy is too close. He's coming at you. I see him. You don't. So I'm going to put the ball here because you have a better chance to get the ball before him. Did you hear that? Because you have a better chance to get the ball before him. Obviously, this pass cannot be too fast. Then we are involving number 4 to step to that gap as well. So this pass needs to be a soft, nice pass for him to see that I want him to move to this ball. And if he takes the attention, all he has to do is maybe one touch drop to here and look at the through ball right there, high ball, and bomb, number 7 is in too. Does that make sense? Please ask a question. I'm going to be waiting for questions, and I want questions, especially from our captains, leaders of any team, pro team, both our pro teams, all ages. Please ask questions, guys. This is important moment. This is a big point. Even though you all think you got this, unfortunately, you don't do it. If just visualize the guy without me, how many times you get the ball and I back up for you to receive the ball from you, to give you a better angle. And how many times do I set you up with a pass? You're like, why is he not passing to my foot? Oh, but I still got it. Repeat number 3 is the player you're going to pass it to, the player who's going to defend number 2, and the space, which is this. Number 3 rule is the space you see for them. The space. All right. And TJ is asking, receiving the ball as a number 7 there, where would you go? This is like changing the subject a little bit, but let's go with it. Let's just say we pass the ball here. Always the first place he needs to turn is forward. His touch goes wide this way, so he keeps it away from the pressure. One good question about it is, if he touches it back to the center, the pressure is going to be in that area again. So in this case, when he gets the ball, if he touches it wide, okay, right here, that ball is so huge, by the way. It's insane, dude. It's because the guy. So it's really like not making as much sense, but it's still a good. So the moment that happens, he touches it wide here, he opens the way to this huge area right here, right? So number 9, if it's a smart number 9, or we have one of those standing forwards, no offense, Isaac, but if you have a moving forward like Andrew, okay, Andrew or Dylan, they'll be making a run this way, and now they are possibly in one-on-one, and Dylan doesn't always do it, so I shouldn't, but he should do it always. So it's important that we see this, okay? So we need to make sure that we make that movement. And I'm going to give you another one up there. Sam, you know, you also don't make these runs. You know, like, you don't understand that this is the space that you want to get the ball to, but usually you're like, give me the ball right here, give me, dude, you're just asking 2 players to defend you when you do that. This is an immediate diagonal run, immediate goal chance, immediately right away. And I've seen this year, Sam and Alex making a couple of those runs, and they successfully finished the goal very successfully. These are simple things that could make huge difference in your games, guys. So let's rewind it back to where the player was. Let's rewind it back to where the player was. Okay, this player has the ball. Okay, so do you understand the idea? Okay, I got a couple questions there. Let me see, hold on. Yes, Jason is asking, would number 8 continue run after passing the ball to number 9 or number 7? Of course he does. This is what we always talk about, right? Like, once you pass the ball, you're in the play, you're in the attack. You just have to join the attack. So if you make this pass to this area, you can check in a little bit back deeper to show yourself. Or if you see we have a little lazy forward and he's making a run that way, you could make a run yourself to this space to receive the ball, or to receive the ball yourself to here. But then if you're going to make that run, the number 10 is going to be able to be seeing that, and he needs to cover, and the whole team needs to be pushing up to those gaps. Okay, let's see. Jason says it's a mistake he makes a lot. Sometimes, he says, actually, you will play the ball, he says about me, where there's space versus where I think there is space. Yeah, it's critical that you recognize space. So, like this, what is the biggest space you see when you're number 9 right here? If, let's get everybody back to, as a number 9, where is the biggest space you see? Here, right? Right, this area right here. Or we see it all around, okay? The space behind the defender, okay? So you could make a run diagonally, or you could just tell the guy, you can make it, but don't make a straight run, please. Don't, you know, I'm sorry, Alex, if you're watching this, that's you being offside 20 times a game. Yeah, give me the ball. I'm gone. I'm Forrest Gump. You know, so we want to make sure, okay? You want to make sure. Sorry, I'll just bring it back to here. You want to make sure that you recognize the space. There's one space here, and of course, if you're gonna make it here run and then make it opposite side run, or you start making a diagonal run and you wait for the pass to go over and you start running in after. Diagonal keeps you on side. Diagonal keeps you on side. You're making a run that way and then ball released and you're gone. I hope that makes it simple for you. You just need to see the maximum space you can see, not the minimum space. Like Jason, you usually see this or that, like, but there is another player there. Like, how much chance do you get if this pass comes to here, this player closes, that player closes? Like, it's going to be a very hard decision for you to make the best decision there as well, right? Like, and it's really important that you guys actually recognize these things. It's really critical. Okay. Any questions about the space? Like I said, the 3 rules that we talked about, right? All right, I'm gonna move on, but if I see a question, I'll come back and show you guys something else. So we're gonna be looking at the same idea, okay? So our outside mid has the ball. These are simple ones. Unfortunately, this is what I see in our games. You guys want to play 1960s English soccer when actually they want something. You want to check and create a give and go forever, which is great, but like this is an immediate moving forward. So if you guys are given an opportunity to move forward, you want to take that opportunity, because so you will be able to move forward as a team, okay? Especially when you're playing a system like ours, when we are very compact and we have to not lose the ball, because we're doing a good amount of defending, coming back as a team, we're working hard, and if you lose the ball every single time, you're going to be working a lot harder, right? So you want to be able to put the ball to spaces. So now I'm going to show you guys. Let's go to blue space. So reaching area of the blue. Reach, right? Reaching area of the blue. Okay, this is hard to draw, but I'm gonna try to make it as much as I can. So this is critical, you guys understand that. So now I draw this basketball looking thing, right? And some of you guys might be seeing Spider-Man, but listen, every time as a player, when I was a player at a professional level, I made a rule for myself. When I was defended by a player, I always see that player about 4 times wider, 5 times wider. And I always visualize that so I can keep that ball away from the pass, you know, away from his reach, right? So let's go back to red. Obviously, areas like this, especially with spin, okay, a little bit far from that area, this is a good area, correct? To give the ball. And if you wanted to do a give and go, because we got lazy players, only want to check in every single time because they do not ever want to make a run, which is not a typical player for us, because we're going to need to use the space as much as we can. And if we played a different system, then yes, number 9 could be checking in more, and I will be calling a false 9, right? We talked about that. So obviously the area then will be here to here, right? And in the back, obviously, is here to here. So you need to be able to pass the ball to those areas. So if I'm going to pass the ball to him, again, do you see that the rules? Let's go over the 3 rules again. The player you're going to pass to, I'm trying to pass to this guy, right? A player that could defend that pass, this guy. So a lot of times you see this. This is why I hate square balls. You want to pass this guy, dude. He steps, he steals the ball. Amazing one-on-one. Hopefully he will miss it. Hopefully our goalie will make a save. Versus you make the choice. 1, the player I'm going to pass to. 2, the player who's defending it. 3 is the space. Drop it back here. The player has to move his ass. Sorry for the ass comment. And so he has space to give that pass over himself now, right? So it's important that we recognize these 3 rules everywhere in the field. So do you see those areas? And always see the player a lot bigger like this, right? This makes the player reach out to every area, and you're visualizing a big soccer ball, a big basketball in this case, and this is his reaching areas. And every time you do a move too, like Messi move, right? Messi comes to the player, he doesn't put the ball in these reaching areas for the player to get the ball. But Messi's gonna do a move, away and touch, right? Or away and touch. So he's gonna be moving away, and second player comes in, he's gonna do away and touch. So it's constantly offensively movement and passing wise, you need to keep the ball away from those areas. Okay, so what we see the runs now, right? We're gonna go to move, we're gonna clear that. So this is the thing that we struggle. We go here, we stay here, or we start running forward. We just want this guy to be Steven Gerrard or Xabi Alonso to make a spin pass perfectly to this guy, which is great. Like I'm sure some of you guys think you can do that. I know I can do that, but I don't try it every time because you need to also have the players who can do those runs, number 1. Number 2, I hope you got that kind of skill to be consistently doing that every time. I am confident I can, but even me, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's still a risky pass, right? But a spin here to open space, a diagonal run, he's on side now, right? When the pass is already going, he gets to this ball, everybody's recovering, right? They're recovering. I wish that I had one of those things that automatically pulls everybody. So next runs, right? We're gonna be running forward. So we have these in our games. We're like, yeah, drop the wall, right? Let's just do this. This is as far as I'm gonna make a run forward. This is not helping us. And why would any of these guys start running forward? Like, if you guys are up there, you need to make them go as close as you can to the goal to be able to bring more players into the gaps as well. Does that make sense? So we're moving forward. We are moving forward. The closest guy versus the furthest guy. Do you see that D-mid setup? This guy gives the drop. Okay. Do you see this now? Any questions to this point? No, right now, red is the attacking team. We're attacking. So Joe is asking if false 9 happened in an attacking zone, or are we relying on our mids to step up? We need to rely on our mids to step up because that's our system. Like I said, the key word there was, I will only ask a false 9 to happen. If we change it, the number 9 to a false 9, we will already change the system to that. Because we need a number 10 in the center, so we need the false 9 to check in more, right? But most of the time, we want the number 9 to come here to the end. Okay, let's see. No, Jeff, red is attacking to score a goal. We're moving forward. This is the goal we're going to try to score. This guy is red right now, but no, we are trying to score right now. So, okay. We're trying to score. Alright, hold on, let me see. So red is attacking to this goal. We're trying to score to that goal. Okay, we are attacking. The whole setup at the beginning was to attack forward. This is the 4 back defenders for them and the 2 center mids here. if that's what we're gonna talk about, Hector. So there's a couple things we can do here, right? Every action does a reaction not only for us, but for the defense. So I would make a diagonal run to here. Okay, I would make a diagonal run to here. When he sees that run coming, he would release the ball. Once he releases the ball, he messes up the defensive shape. This guy is going to be coming here, and this guy is going to be running in here. So this guy needs to start sneaking in here when this guy is trying to recover, right? And all of these guys are going to start recovering to these areas. Okay? So he's running forward. You need to stay not in front of anymore because you're losing the angle. You need to see this defender needs to be coming to the center to mark you, right? You need to act like you're going to make a forward and then go to his blind spot right now. Okay? Back post guy needs to start sneaking in, not straight in here, sneaking in from wide position to be able to see this angle to go in again. So staying on side. If the ball is there, you can move a little bit forward, right? They're coming here. You go to the blind spot. Okay. Now, ideal cross is spinning to here. Like, looks like it's going to go to goal, but spinning to this area for the player just to tap it in there, or a high cross to finish in here, or the back post to come and finish it to here or to here, right? So it's critical that we also fill this gap just in case the player decides to take on the player and beats the player, let's just say. The moment that happens, they're going to go even deeper. They have to, because there's players in here that is waiting for that pass, right? That also opens up the space and place for the outside the box guy. So when he drops the ball, all he has to do is moving forward and drop. So other DMet needs to come back to the center, and we are in a good position to recover. This guy is still waiting for the drop, and that's fine with that. Okay? Yeah, I just touched that subject. So we're gonna go back to, I wish it will automatically do something about that, but let's see. We're gonna go back to our areas, our outside mids, D mids, and center forward. And the ball was here, right? Let's go a little bit more back. So we were actually further, huh? We were further right here. Okay. So I want you guys to see something in here now. There's other combinations, right? So every reaction requires every action requires a reaction from the defense too. So when he passes this ball, he makes a diagonal run, or she makes a diagonal run, that's gonna get this guy to goal side. He's running back, this guy is running back, this guy is covering back, this guy is sliding in, this guy is coming to this area, this guy is coming to this area. They're gonna be compact. And this guy is gonna give a drop, okay? This guy needs to fill this gap, this guy needs to slide, this guy needs to be ready to make a run, correct? He can slide a little bit because the ball is this far right now. Now, the key thing in here is going to mess up the defensive lines even more if you drop the ball. So when you drop the ball, he's going to get goal side. That's going to open up the way to here, right? So you can use the center mid the forward gets the ball. That's going to allow the step to this guy. These guys are going to be coming here. If the forward, now all we see is going to be sliding in here, and this guy is running back as well. If the forward automatically touches the opposite side and opens the game and puts a high ball, he needs to be, of course, running to inside to this area too, or this guy, right? The moment he touches it to open space, he could see a good through ball, hard through ball to this area, or to the other guy if this guy is not making a run, if the other guy is making a run. So the idea is, when this guy gets the ball, that's going to make the defense even more, slide. If you drop it even wider, and which I love doing that. I always tell you guys, drop it wider. He's going to be going up and the right back is here, the center mid is here, right? So that's going to be creating through balls right here. Now we are kind of far. If you're here, last guy, you can play a little bit of a target forward, not necessarily false nine. You can check in just a little bit because you're close to the goal. You can touch it this way. But there is now, when you do that, there's a couple options. Now, if this guy is making a diagonal, he's kind of close in here. He can make a diagonal run and he can see this ball. Or if this guy is making a diagonal run here, do you see this is not... You guys need to stop doing these runs. Diagonal run to here. He sees that there's a player here. And the player, when he gets the ball, he touches it this way. So automatically defense is coming this way. Oh, he pulls him out that way and passes it here. This guy's one-on-one now. It's a perfect opportunity, right? So it's important that we understand we could have gone either way when we're attacking. Okay, yes, the ball's high. If they have a backspin, it's easy for the forward to step in and steal that ball and take that ball, versus a direct ball is bouncing and going towards the goalie. If there's an active goalie, he's going to be coming out and getting a lot of those balls, okay? Thank God Washington State has not a lot of active goalies. But if you watch some of the best goalies in the state too, they will be very active. I don't know if Maddie Smith is here. We had a meeting with the girls last week and Maddie was talking about offensive runs and I really wanted to cover this for her. I hope that helped her out and I hope that helped the girls team with the offensive combinations. So I want to show you guys something. So you are one of the best players in the world. You were chosen to get the Golden Boot, the Ballon d'Or, like the best player in the world award. And should you still be satisfied? I think it's all about the attitude of a player. Now I want you guys to listen to this story. Okay, from Patrice Evra, which played in Manchester United. In the same seasons, Cristiano Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. It's Player of the Year at the England. But look at the attitude of an athlete who just doesn't matter what part, the attitude of that player is completely different. I want you guys to hear this story. I think it's really critical. Please listen very carefully.
I know you did this on our podcast, but you once went for lunch with Manchester United. I think you were going to have a gentle lunch, and it turned out to be a very competitive afternoon.
No, exactly. I think we should stay at the training ground. You know, he said, let's go and having a lunch after training. Go to his house. You know, it was few people on the table. I look at it. It was just some salad, plain white chicken, no juice, just water. So we have a food, quickly a lunch, and after that, he said, let's go in the garden and play two-touch. I said, Cristiano, we just finished. So we go playing two-touch. After that, let's go for a swim. After that, let's have a sauna, jacuzzi. I was like, Cristiano, why we didn't stay at the training room? So that's why I say Cristiano deserves everything he got right now. And also, I saw the goal today. You know, I used to call him Christian Dior because of his playboy style and everything. But I will say Christian the Warrior today. So I'm really happy for him. And he deserves. He deserves because he works so hard and he's a machine.
And just quickly, you said once he played table tennis with Rio Ferdinand, who beat him, and he was so
exactly.
He was determined to beat him.
Exactly, and Rio, have to tell the truth. Rio beat him in front of everyone, so we screamed, and Cristiano was so angry. He sent his cousin by a tennis table. After 2 weeks, he back and he beat Rio in front of all of us. Yeah. So that's Cristiano Ronaldo. He don't want to lose any game.
So I hope you guys heard that. It's a good lesson to learn for all of you guys. The attitude does not change. Doesn't matter how good you think you are. You just want to be a winner and you want to improve yourself. This guy won the best player in the world. You can't go further than that. And he's going to the house and he's working on his game. He's working on his fitness and he's eating like a champ, even though he's already at the top. So it's all about the attitude and how you treat yourself. When you guys give excuses to us for many different reasons, and some of you parents unfortunately make it easy for them to give excuses, it's not about soccer, guys. It's about attitude. It's about life. You need to push to do your best, no matter what. You might not be Ballon d'Or. You might not be the best player in the world, but you're gonna try to be the best version of yourself. Thank you, guys. I appreciate tonight's session. I hope you guys watch that session again from the beginning, and I hope that you guys check out those videos again. It's available in our YouTube. Coaches or any players want to join me at Zoom for feedback after, let me know. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.